All right. Hello and welcome to the Sunday League Podcast, your home for all things MLB and Fantasy Baseball, presented by Small World Media. Today we are talking the good, the bad, and the ugly so far this MLB season, and we're taking a look at forward to what the trade deadline is potentially going to look like, any trades that have happened so far. So we're going to jump right in with the Atlanta Braves. Kale is going to take over and give us a little overview on them.
Yeah, they're dogs. We're not healthy yet. Max Freeze come back next week, so we're going to be even better. No big deal.
Kyle right.
We're kind of in a struggle right now. We've lost, I think we lost 5 out of the last since the All-Star break.
4 and 6 in the last 10.
Yeah. So yeah, we might not make the playoffs. But no, lineup's looking good. We're just kind of a side note. I'm actually really scared because with the new format of the playoffs, because last year we were number 1 and then we had that week off and we came up and crapped the bed. So that kind of scares me. But no, we'll be fine. I mean, we'll definitely win the division. Ozzy Albies starting to hit better. He had a 3-run home run today. Austin Riley's hot as can be.
Austin Riley, gosh.
That's what I just said. No, well,
Is
this thing on? Cunha sucks. But no, I mean, and we're pulling like that Forrest Wall kid. Nobody's ever heard of him. He comes up and steals 2 bags. Our depth is just crazy, especially with the farm system that we don't have after those trades that we made the past couple of years. We just continue to produce, and we got young arms that can come up and. I think what we're going to do is if we do need a bullpen arm, we might make a small trade but I think we're going to bring up younger guys. Like we need a left-handed arm in the bullpen. The only one we got right now, and he's actually on the IL, is Mentor. But I think we'll put like Schuster or something like that in the bullpen for playoffs. But yeah, no, we're good. Lineup's looking good. Pitching's. I thought I knew everybody in the system, but that kid that pitched today, never even heard of him, and he had a good game. So we'll be fine. We just got to figure out some things and hopefully, make little tweaks for the rest of the season. And I mean, they're the best. They got the best record in the league for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. One of the hardest divisions too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Absolute dogs. Phillies.
Casey, you want to take over with the Rays?
Going to make the playoffs.
You got two of the worst teams in the league.
Name them.
Division.
Name them.
That's the Nationals. That's the Nationals.
Okay.
Mets.
Nationals won.
Nationals.
And the
Yes.
Mets, look at their record. They are right there with the Nationals.
Mets are just cursed. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. It's like 2074.
Maybe.
When they're the only team left in the league.
Casey, you want to take over with the Rays?
Yeah. So Rays, got off to a historically great run. I think they were 13-0 before they lost their first game. Since then, though, really, I mean, I think I saw a stat today. Since June 1st, they've been a sub 500 team, and obviously, I think the team and the depth is really catching up to us. Obviously, our starting pitching.
Thought they were.
If Kale wants to talk about injuries when it's just only one person on their team, but when we literally have lost 3 of our best pitchers for the whole season and into next year as well. Don't even start, Kale.
Hang on, 3.
Yeah, we got Jeffrey Springs, Drew Rasmussen, and Shane Boz.
Okay, we got Max Fried, Kyle Wright, AJ Minter, another guy that just went on the IL. Can't remember his name.
Just went on the IL. Yeah. We've been out with Jeffrey Springs.
Fried and Wright have been out almost all the year.
Yeah. Well, they're not even close to Rasmussen and Jeffrey Springs. I'll take
Max Fried. Yeah. Cy Young candidate. Trash.
Anyways, let's get back to the actual televised program. But yeah, so they've been a sub 500 team since then, and not making moves.
When was Drew Rasmussen and Jeffrey Springs hurt?
So Jeffrey Springs, they both went out back to back weeks, and it was like the first or second, month
Week of
of the
what?
season, like May.
So
like-
not June 1st. Okay, got it. Just make sure.
Anyways, but it's just a byproduct of not having enough depth. I feel like we've always been historically a very young team. We got a great core in Randy, Yandy, and Wander. As of late, I mean, Randy and Wander have gotten ice cold. Obviously, Randy. I mean, I'm not one to say that he's a big me guy, but he really showed his butt the other day, game 1 of the O's series. I mean, there's nothing to say about that. I mean, I'm right there with Kale and Thomas and everybody. I mean, I don't like to blame losses on people and stuff, but he definitely didn't help us that game. And probably the biggest series of the season so far. And he comes out there 0 for 5, 4 Ks, and a run into double play. He had a chance to walk us off or even to just tie the game up in the 10th, and his at bat looked like he was back in the home run derby. Had no approach, no plan, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, just the laziness in the outfield with the play from Gunnar Henderson, and all that kind of stuff, getting him to third base. Granted, things just aren't going our way right now. I feel like there's the baseball gods, the luck just isn't on our side right now, and I mean that's what happens in a baseball season. I think the management or something, they need to make a move. They need to make a move fast before it gets too late, and some of these guys are already gone and stuff. I mean, we've been in supposedly talks with, linked to Bellinger, who I'd love to see, and Stroman as well. So hopefully looking to get both of those two guys. I mean, we're also linked to the Ohtani as well. I hope we don't go after him. I mean, I think we have the resources to do so. We have the farm to get him and everything like that. Personally, do I think he would make the team better? Absolutely. But do I think it makes us a World Series favorite? No, I don't. I think there's more to than just getting Ohtani. And I just speaking about the race as well, I'm sick and tired of seeing management when a guy goes on the IL or whatever and stuff. We bring up the same 2 to 3 guys every single time, and Vidal Brujan and Jonathan Aranda. 2 guys that every single time they've been called up, they don't succeed. I mean, they're not really producing stuff every time. It'd be different if they were coming up and making an impact on the team, but they really aren't. When we have 4 top 100 prospects in Double A and Triple A, and we're not even giving them a chance, I don't understand that. Now, I mean, a lot of the management, I think we have one of the best front offices in baseball when it comes to trades and prospects and everything like that. But yeah, I don't really understand it. So hopefully we can turn things around here pretty fast, because we're falling, obviously, with the O's taking over first place. Yeah, I mean, but a slump is usually for like a month, if that. We're going on almost 3 months, really.
Real quick there, like I said, I give Randy a bunch of credit. If I'm honest, I really didn't see too much wrong. And if it was me, I'd give almost more props to Gunnar Henderson for paying attention to that, because he ran because the thing I saw was Randy, slouches to the ball. He ran to the ball and got there in plenty of time. The throw, I mean, but how many times do you see that? Yeah, but how many times do you see that in a MLB game?
Right.
I mean,
right.
almost every single
and
day.
That's fair.
And I was like, you don't like to see it, but it was one of those. It was just a bad situation, and like you said, it was a big series.
Orioles wanted it more. You could tell.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, they proved that in the series.
100%.
And 2, I was going to ask. I don't know too. Like I know, like I live near Durham, so I've seen them a good amount. Like, is it a thing of like y'all have prospects? Like, do you have a bunch of good shortstop prospects that are balling out and they don't want to bring them up, or is it just they bring up the same, like you said?
No, I mean, because to me, our 2 biggest prospects right now in AAA are Kyle Manzardo and Curtis Mead. Kyle Manzardo is a great first baseman and stuff, and big time prospect with the bat, big doubles guy and stuff. Curtis Mead, he's really shown himself. He can play third base, second base, first base, and stuff. Obviously, not so much with the speed and everything, but right now we need more bats than anything. I mean, because Yandy this past week, he went on the paternity list for the birth of his child and stuff. And I was looking forward to seeing Manzardo or Curtis Mead, but we bring up Aranda again. And I mean, he came up with a couple big hits against the Braves before the All-Star break and stuff, but I don't know. I don't really understand that whole thing, and I mean, it would just hurt me as a Rays fan. We have these big prospects that we've been hearing about for a few years now, and if we want some big pieces at the deadline, we'll probably have to trade them. And so it's just one of those things that, as a Rays fan, I'd like to see our best product. If you're bringing guys up, bring up the best that we got. Especially if we're in a hunt.
Who's y'all's third baseman right now? I'm blanking.
Isak
Paredes.
Paredes.
And
Paredes.
now I just forgot the guy that you bring up all the time. Not Bruin, but the other guy.
Jonathan Aranda.
I feel like him and y'all's third baseman are almost the exact same player. Like, kind of, Sunday League. Shout out to this podcast. Sunday League body type, but hit the ball well. But there's nothing else. Like, they don't play. Now Paredes is a better defender, but I think y'all's biggest problem is the numbers thing with the quote unquote smart people, and like the numbers.
I agree.
It takes a lot of it takes a team, not the same 9 players. And I think that's y'all's biggest problem is. And I will say, I've given Class now hell. That dude's curveball might be the nastiest pitch I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, it is. I mean, he's really stepped it up.
I will stand by. He can't. He throws as hard as he can for 5 innings, and then he's out. I don't love that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he is.
I think he did really good in Oppenheimer.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, put in the cued laugh.
Anyways, well, let's keep moving. I'll jump in with the now AL East leading Orioles, who have really been on a tear. Just took the series from the Rays to take the lead in the division. And I mean, they've been a team to watch all year. I think they've been exciting. They've got young talent that's like coming up and performing, kind of like what the Reds are doing as well. But they've been doing it longer. So I think the Reds are just kind of following in their footsteps. Aaron Hicks got traded over from the Yankees and has turned his season around, turned his career around potentially. He's hitting 254 right now with, I believe, 6 home runs since coming over. So pretty solid. They've brought up Jordan Westberg, Colton Cowser, and a couple of their other like top prospects, and they've all been playing pretty solid.
You guys looked good the other day.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, finally, he had to go back down and figure it out, but came back up and figured it out. But Austin Hayes also has been really solid, hitting 296 with 9 bombs. He was an all-star, Rutschman. So they've just been all around a good team, and they've figured it out, and they're taking the division. So, that's all I've got on them. Really, just kind of keep it short and sweet. I'm not sure.
Mountcastle.
Yeah. He's back, but honestly, he hasn't been playing a lot.
He's been on a bench,
Yeah, with the guys. He came in and pitch hit the other night. Struck out, but
But anyways, next team, James, you want to talk about the Marlins?
I can tell you about the Marlins.
Surprising team.
Jeez. I would say it was a surprising team to start off. I would say I was not looking forward to the season. But with the with the ad of the Luis Arraez, been on a tear. He's in a slump. He's still batting .377. Still a dog. Walked him off today. So, I don't know why the Rockies put 5 in the middle infield. The dude is eye to eye in the outfield. So, walked it off there. Puck blew it in the 9th again. So, I think we're going to go out and get a closer. I think the guy from the Angels, Esteves. I think we make a run at him. But depth-wise, We need help pitching. I mean, because I know we dropped down Yuri. I don't know why we did that. I mean, I know for maintenance, but we definitely need bullpen.
Innings list.
Yeah, but I don't understand that. We literally dropped him down. Where I think 2-9 the last 11 games.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have Sandy. We still got Luzardo, who threw a gem. Cabrera just came back. Braxton's been okay. Cueto had a solid outing. We just can't hit. I honestly think later in the season we drop down Cueto to a long relief role, moving Yuri into a starting role. So top 5 wouldn't be too bad. Like Kale said, we definitely need bullpen help. We probably need to make it because hitting wise, I mean, we got Joey, we got Segura, La Cruz ain't that bad. Jazz is getting hurt like always. I think Cooper got hurt today. I mean, Avi Garcia, he's still on the IL. He hasn't played all year. But we need Jazz back definitely. Definitely bullpen help. Oker, Floro, Nardi ain't doing nothing. But I say at the deadline we make a run for bullpen help and maybe add a hitter. Because I know they were looking at the dude from the Nationals, the third baseman, Jameer Candelario.
Candelario.
We were looking at him. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad ad. But then you got Segura. I mean, I guess you can move him over to shortstop, I guess. But I don't know if I like that. But I do think we do another bat like him. I mean, I think he'd be a pretty good fit. If we get him and a couple arms in the bullpen, we can make a wild card spot, I think.
I think y'all's best,
for sure.
And this is just from the outside, and I'm a nobody. I think y'all's best move is to move up Khalil Watson, put him at shortstop, and what's it called, like role play or like where they play over the game.
Platoon.
Wendell and Segura at third. But like if Cooper's hurt, I think he's a big bat for y'all. But
he's just hit or miss.
I like Cooper.
Oh, I like Cooper too.
I think if he plays first base, you just need to cut the dude from the Astros. My brain's fried right now.
Actually, Yuli Gurriel.
Yuli Gurriel, yeah.
I do like Yuli coming off the bench as a pitch hitter. I honestly do. Last couple times he's come out, he's delivered. Starter wise, I agree with you. He's getting old. He's not starting material. I do believe Garrett Cooper could start over him, but him coming off the bench with a veteran bat, I like that.
Mm-hmm. I do too, and I think that makes you and maybe even put Gene Segura or Wendell at second if you want to put somebody else at third, or
but then
and put Rise at first base.
At first?
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that. I mean, because he played first base with the Twins.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's y'all's best move, other than giving away prospects.
Oh, 100%. But we do need that.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I think Solaire's going to get – I mean, he's a streaky hitter.
Soler can get hot.
And then Garcia, I mean, he hasn't done anything for y'all, but –
He's freaking –
I mean, I'm not just this year since y'all signed him.
No, you want me to hit 8 home runs.
And I do want to say, at the beginning of the year, all three of these people were like, "Oh, the Marlins are trash." I believed in y'all, and it's working out. So,
Star of the odds. I mean, we're like 20-5 in 1-run games. I mean, that makes it seem like our bullpen's good, but they're honestly not.
Yeah,
they'll give it up in the top of the ninth, and then we'll walk it off in the ninth. Like we'll find a way to score a run. We'll play small ball, but we're fighting for our lives just to have a 1-run victory. Like today, we freaking had the lead, blew it, and then we won it in the 12th or the 11th.
And I don't like Shoemaker as a manager, but that's neither here nor there.
He ain't too bad in my opinion. I think he favors, or he's kind of like a Kevin Cash when it comes to pitchers. He babies them.
Exactly. That's why I hate his guts.
Like for example, Johnny Cueto had 8 Ks in 5 innings. He had 80 pitches. Took him out. Bullpen came in. We lost the game.
Numbers say this.
I don't care.
Exactly.
I agree with you on that.
Well, did y'all?
Yeah, but
were
then
y'all able?
But then Luzardo came out and threw 115 pitches, 13 Ks.
Yeah,
I don't understand that, dude.
Well, Cueto, he was just coming back from.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, from an injury. But also, did y'all get to catch the what A-Rod said during the All-Star break about
never.
The basically the nerds and stuff? Never. So basically. It was him, Jeter, Big Papi, and whoever runs that.
Yeah, who's the white guy? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they asked A-Rod what's going on with it, with the Yankees, obviously and stuff, and I think we'll probably get into that for like the bad because we can't really categorize them as ugly yet. But anyways, he was saying we need to get back to stop playing like this statistical baseball and stuff and get back to just grinding, and some hard-nosed baseball and stuff and play some baseball and forget about the numbers and everything and just go out there and let your abilities take over rather than just playing the numbers and everything like that. And I think that is the biggest thing because I think teams and I think management and stuff, I think they're overthinking things a lot these days and stuff just because they're higher
injuries
ups
and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, not the injuries, just like especially when it comes to the bullpens, or like pinch hitters or substitutions, setting lineups. Not a lot of teams, except for I think the Braves because they have just such a great core and big length of the core. Not a lot of teams really go out there and say this is my lineup every single day. A lot of teams say, what, if we're facing a lefty, this is what it's going to be. If we're facing a lefty that throws like this, we're going to throw these guys out there. You just don't really see that anymore, and I think it's sad. I think it's really deflating the game of baseball. Of just like we're having certain guys be so good at one thing, and they're just not the same with everything else.
Yeah, and to
You got a bunch of specialists and not ball players.
Right, and to go into the mental, like you got to think of the mindset of like, okay, well, if a right-hander, like say a right-handed batter is hot, and then a right-hander comes out bullpen, you're like, oh crap, I might not get this at bat. And even if he does get that bat, like his at bat's almost over because he's thinking about something else. He's not zoned into the game.
He's thinking if I don't get this, if I don't make the most of it, I'm not going to get this opportunity again.
Right, and so much pressure.
No matter how hot I am. Yeah,
it's so much. Baseball's such a repetition game. Like you got to have
consistency.
I mean, you got to have like one. I mean, I've always said mindset is everything, but to like I use Cody Bellinger as an example. Like the Dodgers tried to use him as basically a platoon guy, and I think he hadn't been healthy for the past 2 years, but the Dodgers tried to use him as like a platoon guy. He never got to see lefties. Same thing with Jock Peterson. I mean, you saw what he did with the Braves. I mean, when he got consistent at bats. I'm a bad mother. Coldest line of all time. But like it's just like these nerds are coming in here and just trying to say, oh, the numbers say this. Like I don't care what the numbers say. Like to a like there's certain players who can do that, but it's kind of like a pinch hitter. Like Charlie Culberson, Charlie Clutch, a couple years ago back with the Braves, he could come off the bench and give you a good AB after not seeing the field for 2 weeks. But that's a very rare amount of players. Yep. It's a big thing.
You gotta be in the league long enough for that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think we can kind of wrap out the good with just touching on a couple teams. The Blue Jays have been very good. I mean, obviously, the whole AL East has been very good, has been pretty solid. Everybody's above 500. Best division of baseball. I'll give it to you, Casey. Still, the AL East is better than the AL Central, unlike you believe. But yeah, the Blue Jays have been solid. The Yankees have struggled, and their fans are acting like Mets fans when they shouldn't be, but I guess that's a New York thing. Texas and Houston have both been very solid this year. Texas's lineup is insane, and their pitching has been very solid as well, even without DeGrom.
That's crazy.
Angels are 2 games over 500, even with all the injuries they're facing right now, even though they're probably going to trade Ohtani. I think they're kind of out of the playoff picture, and they're going to give up on the playoff picture and trade him, but we'll see. Phillies, another team, they're second in the NL East that we didn't mention earlier.
They came out of anywhere.
They're tied for second with the Marlins. They have 1 less win, but 1 more loss. Or no, the opposite. Yeah, and then the Brewers and Reds are both 55 and 45 and 55 and 46. Reds have been red hot lately, as we know. Brewers have been on a streak. Sorry, Braves ended it. But they've been pretty solid. I think those two are the only two teams that are really in it at this point. I know earlier in the year, like just in personal conversations, we've talked about this still is anyone's division, but I think it's going to be one of those two
It's
teams at the end
solidified.
of the day. I don't think the Cubs,
Tom-
Cardinals, or Pirates have a chance at this point. And then in the West, I mean, obviously the Dodgers are always good. The Diamondbacks have kind of slumped a little bit lately. They're 54 and 46, and so are the Giants. So, I mean, those are all teams that are being good, or that are playing good, that you kind of expect, except for a couple surprises like the Reds and the Marlins, honestly. Yeah, that kind of wraps out the good. We can kind of get into the bad a little bit.
And I know
and just kind of
taking up this podcast. I apologize. But if you talk about like the teams that are consistently good this year, I think look at the managers. Texas Rangers, Bruce Bochy, veteran, knows how to win, won all those times with San Francisco. Braves, Brian Snicker, been a Brave his whole life. You know, came up through the ranks. Astros, Dusty Baker,
knows the system.
You know, right? I mean, just knows baseball. Like they're baseball lifers.
So you're gonna say Dave Roberts is a great manager, then?
No. I'm saying because Dave Roberts doesn't go. Dave Roberts is basically the same as God. I can't say
Kevin Cash.
No,
Calculator.
The San Francisco Giants. I hate him so much. I forgot.
Gabe Kapler.
Gabe Kapler.
Gabe Kapler.
Like they were never like they were. Gabe Kapler has been a I don't know why I can say douchebag his whole life. I mean, and like he played the game that way, and he was a platoon guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave Roberts really disappoints me because he was a base runner. Like, I mean, still one of the best moments in history when he came out, and everybody in the whole entire world knew that he was still in that bag when he was in Boston, and he stole that bag.
Mm-hmm.
But then he changes his mindset when he gets to a manager because the management wants him to, like, or the front office wants him to, and he's kind of changed his ways. Because when they were really good, they had the core, Justin Turner,
Trey Turner,
Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts. Catcher's a weird position. I think you can kind of,
Muncy.
Muncy. I mean, they had core players. Now they've just got a bunch of, other than Freddie and Mookie. Other than Freddie and Mookie, like, they don't have any everyday players.
Will Smith.
I'll say Will Smith, but that's what I mean. Catcher
and Kershaw.
But like
Kershaw.
they've lost that ability of like having a core everyday players. And like you said, they're still the Dodgers, still good, but
so they're still
they're not nowhere near as good as they were.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good transition to go into the bad of like what teams aren't performing, and I want to include this team in the ugly, mainly just because they're a division rival and they have a manager that should be doing better than he is, but the New York Mets have been atrocious this year, spending all that money, and they are 6 games under 500 and 18 games out of the division lead. I don't even know what the wild card settings looks like, but it's probably at least 8 or 9 games.
They're far. They're far.
They're very far. So they've been bad. Clearly, the Padres have been also bad, but they can turn it around. St. Louis has been bad. I would say St. Louis has been ugly, just with the expectations of St. Louis baseball. They're always in a playoff hunt. They're always a division leader, and then they just completely fell off the earth this year. So,
the Mets are 7 games out of a wild card, and the Padres are 6. But I mean, and they're 48-52 Padres, 46-52 for the Mets. So, just throw that out there.
The Mets are 18 games out, and the Padres are only 10 games out. I think Padres make somewhat of a run, but I don't know.
Yeah, they got to make it quick though, because the deadline's in 2 weeks.
I mean, the way Arizona and San Francisco's been playing, Arizona's lost 4 straight. San Fran's lost 5. San Diego picked up some ground. I think they were 15 games back. Now they're only 10.
Yeah.
I think San Diego might need like a bullpen arm or something like that.
Even they said they made trade Hader.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I think the next week, if they go, I think it'll depend on what they do this next week. Like if they win 6 out of 7 the next week, they might just say, "All right, we're going to go for it." But if they lose, 5 of 7, they might just say, "All right, we're selling." And and sell off a couple pieces. Probably Hader, potentially Soto, but
And Snell.
They came out today and said Soto isn't
Probably a no.
somebody that they're looking. Yeah.
Really?
They're not really looking to
Yeah, so
trade
it's
Soto, but
they gave up.
They said that Hader is definitely a movable piece, and then along with Snell. Yeah.
Well, if they trade Hader, who's going to take his spot? Martinez?
I mean, at that
doesn't
point,
matter if you're selling, you're giving up on the year.
Yeah, they have to get somebody else in the trade or something like that. Like a young arm
or something, or
yeah.
move somebody from the minors up there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But yeah,
Because I know you're looking for a reliever on fantasy, James. So you're probably like, oh,
Hey, I already got one through Thomas.
Yeah,
I got
facts.
the ball.
Everybody gives James everything. Nobody wants to give Kale at the reliever.
I gave Thomas
because
everything.
Kale doesn't give good offers.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
say
true.
Kale, you're like, Kale's like, I'll give you
My trade was much
McLean
better
for
than that trade.
Valdez and Luis Castillo.
False.
McLean. That's not at all what I offered you. That was Thomas.
You
Just
did
about.
send me an offer with McLean.
Just
Anyways,
you
Thomas.
sent me a pick with.
I gave you Rafael Devers for Austin Riley. That was the
Not
only
straight
position
up.
players we have.
That's fine, but then you also
We're not
wanted
talking about this
Valdez.
because I'm gonna get upset.
save it for the last 10 minutes.
I'd say
Last
Yeah,
10
well,
minutes.
we can edit
Okay.
out and zone out.
Hopping back into what teams have been bad. Every team in the Central for the NL or
On
the
both
AL,
sides.
pretty much, other than the Twins right now, have been very disappointing. Guardians have been pretty disappointing. The Twins are currently 5 games over 500, which is I didn't realize that until I looked today. So
They're eight. They're 8 and
yeah,
2
I mean
last
that
10.
whole division is not good.
No.
And kind of the same for the bottom of the Central and in the NL. They've been rough. Pirates have been rough since April and May when they were hot, and then they've just kind of completely fell off the wagon. So
Seattle.
not good.
Good old Derek Shelton.
Love it.
Love
But-
it, man.
Anyways, jump into the ugly. I think it's really 3 teams that jump out is Oakland, obviously,
Kansas City.
because they're Oakland, Kansas City, and Colorado.
Washington too.
You could
You throw
probably
Washington
also
in there.
tie in Washington, although they're 6-4 in their last 10.
Yeah.
They're
solid
not
comeback.
as bad.
58.
Yeah.
Abrams has been hot. I gave him.
Yeah.
He has.
I thought he was absolute garbage. Which
Abrams is figuring it out, but
we'll see.
That'd be good for him.
yes. So I mean, does anybody have anything they want to add on those teams? I mean,
I think
obviously
St. Louis-
Oakland's
I
leaving.
think St. Louis is ugly
Yeah,
because
I
Yeah,
would say
I
that.
think-
with those 2 cornerstones, they're going to have to give up one of them. I don't think Arenado's going anywhere.
They say no.
Yeah, they said they ain't trading
say
nobody.
no Goldschmidt, no Arenado, and no Lars Nootbaar.
Well, that's
They said
one,
they're gonna
I think
trade
that's a
probably-
lot of. Go, James.
They said they're probably going to trade. I thought you said they said they're going to trade Contreras and then an arm. So probably Montgomery.
See, they give him.
Yeah, I'd
Contreras
say Montgomery's
way
their
too
biggest
fast.
piece.
Yeah.
Contreras is
giving
a
up on
good catcher,
Contreras.
man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but they never.
But no,
used
I
him
I'll
as a
take
catcher.
I think you got to get rid of Goldschmidt.
I don't think
Yeah,
they
with
do.
his contract,
I
I
agree
mean,
with
he's
you.
got a year and a half left. So
agree with you
you
that
might
he
as well
should.
get as much out of him as you can.
Yeah.
Arenado's on like a 6-year deal. So, I mean, if you're
Yeah.
going to keep one of them, you keep him. And then you get as much as you can for Goldschmidt.
Totally.
And too,
But I
like
think they could-
as much as I hate to say it, like third base is more of a premier spot. First base you can kind of put somebody in there. I disagree with that, but I mean you can. I mean I think third baseman is one of the most key positions on the field. Especially, of course, it depends on your infield, but because if you got Fernando
Yeah,
Tatis playing shortstop, you need Jesus
You need
Christ
a
at first base.
base.
But
You need a vacuum cleaner. In there.
yeah, you need a Hoover. That was my nickname growing up, baby. That's how you know I had a nasty glove. They call me a Hoover.
Are you sure it wasn't because of
Yeah,
how
well,
big you were?
No. Hoovers aren't that big, you dummy. That's Kirby's that were huge.
I know
I'm
you already.
surprised they didn't call you Dyson.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
surprised
say-
they
I'm
didn't
try-
call you Dyson for the
No, they call
Dyson
me-
ball.
call me freaking. I don't even know what a Dyson ball. That gum. What year were you born?
It's the vacuum cleaner.
I know
The
what
ball.
Dyson is, but that was like 2011. That's probably when you hit puberty, you tiny man.
At 11, yeah, you're probably right.
Sorry, I hit puberty at freaking 3 years old.
It's okay. Casey hasn't grown since puberty.
I'll say I was six. I was freaking. Genuinely, I was probably like 5 foot, 150 pounds, like 4 years old. I'm not even joking.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I think St. Louis needs to get rid of him, and then Brendan Donovan,
Mhm.
and maybe like a Newt Bar. But
I can see that. You don't see
Yeah.
them get up
Yeah.
Contreras?
I think they definitely
I
trade
don't think they should,
Montgomery.
no.
Yeah, Montgomery.
They don't use him as catcher though. What's the point?
Who's the other catcher?
Yeah, they use him at catcher.
Barely.
Who's their other catcher?
Yeah, who's their backup?
Exactly. No one knows and no one cares.
Yeah,
Yanni's
but
gone.
friggin' Contreras has lost all his confidence.
Well, yeah, because the team.
He's batting 250 with like 16 bombs.
2 weeks into the season, they won't let him catch anymore.
I'd lose confidence too.
I
Well, I
mean,
wouldn't lose confidence. I'd tell y'all to
They don't-
shove it. I don't want to catch anymore. But
Yeah, I mean 250 with 16 bombs as a catcher.
yeah, sign
After
me
you're
up.
getting all that, after you're getting all that crap and stuff. I mean, I'll take that any day. I mean, name me like 10 catchers that can hit me 250 in the league.
Joe Murphy.
Maybe 5.
Travis Darno.
Both for the Braves, no big deal.
No big deal. Anyways, I think they also could trade Hicks. He'd be a good bullpen piece for
Yeah.
anybody that
Oh,
wants
yeah,
him.
Jordan.
So I mean,
Oh yeah, and that name for the Cardinals is Andrew Knizer.
We know.
Just saying.
what?
That took over Contreras.
Anyways,
Oh.
Well, I think
Oh,
we need to touch
the
on the
catcher?
Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean
I
Casey.
think we
got?
need to touch on
If
the
Sean
Yankees.
Casey can't do it, then nobody can.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So everybody, at the beginning of the year, I think a lot of like the MLB analysts and stuff, they came out with their predictions for the AL East and stuff. They had the Yankees 1, Blue Jays 2, Rays 3, O's 4, Boston 5. I always saw. I'm not really surprised that the Yankees are stinking this bad, honestly. Because after Judge, that team is like so jumbled up. It's crazy, like how they mesh that team together. Like it is not a uniform team at all. I don't feel like. I mean, it's just like, yeah. Well, not just that, but it's like they're trying to make this big, pretty picture of a puzzle and using different, like the wrong
of a bunch of
squares,
big pieces,
right?
but they're not going together.
Yeah,
And I think because like when you're putting Aaron Judge in center field, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Now Harrison Bader was
Yeah.
hurt for the beginning of the season, but this going back to what we said, there's certain teams like the Rays, the A's, they have to do things to win ball games. When you're the flipping New York Yankees, who like you just put studs on that field. I don't want to hear a single number other than home runs and average salary.
Win.
Yeah, and wins. And they got Garrett Cole, dog.
Rodon.
Rodon's coming back, and I think
Nestor's
Severino's
coming
he's been down. But if you're telling me Luis Severino is my 5, sign me up.
Domingo.
I mean, yeah, but I don't.
Not too bad.
He hit his wife, so screw him.
Got a point. Got a point.
Yikes.
And to your point, Kale, about the Sean Casey thing, I think that was a very interesting signing.
Yeah.
But I think I read somewhere that somebody talked to Sean. It might have been Mark DeRosa, and he's like, "Man, why'd you do it? Why'd you choose to do it?" He's like, I don't think there's a loose possibility for me.
Right?
If I go in there and they turn it around, I look like a hero.
Mhm.
If I go in there and nothing changes, so
Yeah.
what? Like
You're like,
there's
what?
nothing.
Yeah, because
it's like it's not my
it's a
fault.
hitting coach.
You know?
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
not to dismiss hitting coaches, but like, and to like you said, it's the Yankees. They don't have a Judge right now, and it is a win-win because they have a bunch of
and I think they're kind of doing what like I hate to go back to Rays, but like as much as I think Anthony Volpe will be a dang good ball player in this league. I mean, he should have been sitting down a couple weeks ago.
He should have been sitting down
Just for
months ago.
mental, because people that's the most impressive seasons of any ball player, in my opinion. Up close to the top is Didi Gregorius. When Derek Jeter retired and Didi Gregorius came in as shortstop for the New York Yankees, and he was an animal for all of you, that's so impressive. Because I can't imagine the pressure that came with that.
Big shoes.
Yeah, and so like you got, I mean, and Anthony Volpe, I mean, he's a young kid. He's like what 21, 22.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot to put on a kid for the New York Yankees. Yeah. And let's get rid of the stupid shave rule. That's one of the main reasons I can't stand the Yankees. But neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron Hicks grew a beard and now he's hitting 250. So
yeah, Lance Lynn was just talking about it. He said, "Dude, I hated playing for the Yankees because having to wake up every day and knowing I have to shave. I can't. I haven't. Listen, nobody on this planet will ever see my chin again. So I can imagine shaving every day."
Hey, would you play for the Yankees, Kev?
Yeah, if they paid me $100 million per game. Dude, look at Brian McCann. Brian McCann was actually a pretty good-looking dude when he played for the Braves. And then he goes to the Yankees, and he's top 3 ugliest people I've ever seen in my life. I love D-Mac with all my heart and soul. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Anything else on the Yankees there?
I just think
I just love to see them in last place.
Yeah, facts.
I
think they'll make a move for like a bullpen arm. Because I know I should know, but who's their closer?
They don't even know.
Clay Holmes. Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah, they don't even know who their closer is.
I think they need.
Aaron Boone's like. That one.
Honestly, that was my next question. Is what do you think it's time for Aaron Boone to go? You think he's a problem?
I used to love him, mainly because we're savages in that box. But I think he's kind of falling into the same thing of numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what he's doing in the bullpen.
Yeah, it kills me, man. Especially ex-players. I know every MLB manager was an ex-player at some level, but I don't know.
Because even when I looked at, like, even when I had Clay Holmes my fantasy team, I was like, all right, let's see how they're working with. He'd, like, bring in Wandy Peralta for, like, a hitter, take him out, and then put in Clay Holmes in the 8th to face the top 2 batters, take him out, and then throw in the 7th inning guy. I forgot his name. I don't know. But then he'd come in to close. And then the next game,
Loizaga?
Yeah. He'd come in close, and then the next game they'd be in a save situation, and then they'll throw in Clay Holmes for the save. It's like he's looking at a spreadsheet and like, what's best? Dude, you have a set closer. Throw him in there. If you can't do the job, then find somebody else.
Yeah, we've had this conversation off camera, but like, I don't want to hear like I want my best bullpen arm to come in tough situations.
Yeah, like, heck no.
No, I want my best bullpen arm be my
in the
dog at the end, because those last 3 outs are the hardest to get.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Yeah. I guess on that note, should we go into predictions? Anything we're looking forward to with the trade deadline? We kind of touched on a little bit with the Cardinals, but there's a couple other teams that are definitely selling, and there's teams that are buying. So is there anything? I know, Kale, you've got some mock trades probably. Anything you guys want to touch on there?
Let's hear it, Kale.
Okay. I think, and I've before I brought this up, and if I'm honest, I was wrong. I thought Alex Lange was a left-hander. He's a right-hander, but he pitched for Detroit. I think the Atlanta Braves could go get him from Detroit. We've had a bunch of trades with Detroit. It seems like Anthopoulos just has like certain teams like the Athletics, just certain teams, and that's everybody in the league. GMs
just picking
it's human nature. Like you like each other, so you try to do trades. But Atlanta gets Alex Lange, which has been very good this year. And I think we'll have to overpay for him just because we are the Braves and we're the number one team in the nation or league. Give up Spencer Schwellenbach, who's a right-handed pitcher. He's a number 6. Adam Meyer, who's a right-handed pitcher, at number 11. Shortstop Cal Conley, and then Kirby Yates. Like that's nowhere. That's not any of our top 5 guys. You know, I actually like the Schwellenbach kid, but he's the main guy, and then Kirby Yates. He's been good.
Just get him
off the
team.
But yeah, so you're not using a lot there.
I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah.
And then
and the starting lineup's already through 2029, so
right, yeah, like
no point.
And we got so many young arms, and we just drafted that kid from Florida. I think if he's not up at the end of this year, he'll be up next year.
Oh yeah,
he's ready. He just needs probably like 1 or 2 tweaks to his
delivery.
Yes, but mechanics,
command.
You know, just command and everything, and he'll be ready. And I think he'll be nasty. But I do see him as a bullpen arm. What do I know? The next one is Stroman to the Dodgers. Actually, Stroman and Michael Fulmer, because I think the Dodgers need bullpen help as well.
Casey's upset with that. He wants him to the Rays.
Yeah, Michael Fulmer, like when he came over with Detroit, absolute dog. And then injuries and everything kind of put him out. But the Cubs get, in return, Ryan Pepio, right-hand pitcher, the number 5. Their catching prospect, Dalton Rushing, who I just looked him up 2 days ago. He's on fire right now. But they got Will Smith, so you know they don't really need a catching prospect.
You think Stroman is worth a top five? No.
I think Stroman and a bullpen arm from the same team.
Stroman's pretty good.
And yeah, Stroman's he's back.
And
2, I mean,
he's solid.
it's 1, 2. It's 3 or 4. I threw in Nick Roberts, who's in the bullpen now. I didn't go too into depth, but and then Dalton Rushing, and then Ronan Kopp, who's lefty from the Dodgers. He's their number 19. Like, so it's 5, 7, and 19, and then a throw-in bullpen arm. I do think that would. I mean, Stroman's having a great year, and he's always pitched up to the playoffs and stuff like that. And then Michael Fulmer could be a long relief. He could be a closing potential guy. I mean, definitely.
Stroman likes the spotlight. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 main ones.
WBC.
And then I don't like this one at all, but Daniel Bard to the Marlins. The only reason I don't like this one is because they're giving up Max Meyer. I don't see him doing that yet.
Oh wow!
No,
yeah, I don't see him doing that.
Us doing that.
This was back, and then Dash Fulton.
We may give up Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, like, shoot, I'd give up a Snickers bar for Rogers at this point. But I mean, he ticks me off. And this is completely toxic masculinity or whatever. I can't stand the like mental IL or whatever they're calling it.
Where they're
why?
Like, because you're telling me you need a week off because you're sad. Listen, depression is a real thing. I'm not saying that.
Shale.
But 2 to 3 days, like, okay, sit them down for a couple of days. Let them go home. Go on the, not the paternity list, but like undiagnosed or whatever they have, like sit them home for a couple of days. But put it on the IL. Are you kidding me? Like, that's just crazy.
Well, so this is what I've been hearing.
IL, say he's got brain problems. Cause...
This is what I've been hearing is what teams are doing, because it's less time than obviously like the 10-day IL, 15-day IL. I think it is. I think it's less, isn't it?
Oh, I'm learning that.
I think it's like 6 or 7 days.
Oh, okay.
And what a lot of teams are doing is they're saying this guy's struggling, and so they're saying, hey, we'll put you on the mental, whatever you want to call it,
restricted
IL
list, I think.
Yeah, restricted list.
Oh,
what you're going to do for these 10 days is you're going to go get your mechanics right. You're going to go throw bullpens. You're going to go figure out what it is. Yeah, they do something,
Okay,
to
so
get
it's kinda
right.
like concussion IL. Like
Yeah,
7
so
days
so that they
concussion
can like keep them away, do their work, but they can still fill someone into the spot. Because if they don't put them on the IL, they're just taking up a position to not, and not even play for like 4 or 5 days.
So I'm learning something. That was ignorance on my point. I thought it was like a 10-15 day IL.
No,
Okay. Well, and too,
No.
like I feel like we've been doing that.
it might be 10. I'm not sure though.
No, I think now that you said that, you're probably right.
Okay, I think you're
But-
talking about when they put Bard on the IL at the beginning of the year after the WBC, when he
Yeah,
just
they
like,
should.
lost everything. He was out for a couple months.
Should put him on the waiver
He was
wire.
like, I need to go home. I need to go to bed.
Listen, I drafted him that night. I dropped him like a hot cake. But no, I do. Yeah, Max Meyer's a little too much for Dan Bard, especially this year.
100%.
But then, okay, my last
I can
one.
see-
I like this one a lot. I think I can't remember the first name. Blackburn. It's not Chase Blackburn.
Paul.
Paul Blackburn.
Paul Blackburn for the A's.
From A's.
Going to the Reds.
He's solid. To where?
To the Reds.
The Reds.
Ooh.
Give up Chase
Reds
Petty.
do need a
Who's
couple
like, I
runs.
think I didn't put it in here. I should have. He's like, I think he's top 10. I know that. Prospect, and then Ricardo Cabrera. He's like top 15 maybe. I like that a lot because it's not a big. They don't really need a big arm. They just need innings eaters at the bottom. And Paul Blackburn. Anybody who can pitch good for Oakland can pitch good anywhere.
That's true.
So
And he's been solid.
True.
Yeah, he's been very solid for the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that one a lot. I think Paul Blackburn's getting moved anywhere, but I think the Reds would be a good spot for him.
I think that's a good take. I think the Reds for Paul. I haven't heard that one yet, but I think that's a really good take. I see David Robertson from the Mets. I think he goes to the Marlins. I think he goes back home, back to the Marlins.
We're definitely going to close.
I could see something there because y'all's like 8th and 9th guy is both lefties. Tanner Scott and AJ Polk right now are both lefties. I think. Yeah, I think. Well, you also got JT Shawwell.
We rarely use
coming
him.
out right now and stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
So
but I think he just came off the IL.
I like Max Meyer going to the pen, dude. This year.
Really?
This year.
Well, maybe
I mean,
this
I mean
year.
at the end of the year,
Yeah, I'm not
I can
talking
see
about
that.
forever, no. But put it
because they'll definitely
Because
103 coming out of the pen. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Sheesh.
yeah, because that's what the Rays did with McClanahan. His MLB debut was in the 2020 World Series, coming out of the bullpen in like the 5th or 6th inning and stuff.
Braves
He got
notorious for that.
shat on, but hey, I mean,
No,
young
I mean,
kid
Someone's
coming
got to be
out of the
humbled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, you're not put in to start the game. Like, it is great experience. Like, I think every team
Yeah.
should do that. Like I said, I'm Braves fan. We do that a lot. Like Noah a couple years ago. He came up as a bullpen. Spencer Strider came up as a bullpen arm. And if you
Really?
can succeed in the bullpen, yeah,
I didn't know that.
He didn't start starting until like halfway through last year.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So like, I think that's what every team should do. But
That dude's got quads of a
yeah,
Greek
I like
god.
Max Meyer at the pen, dude. That red, just don't even make him wear a hat. That red hair,
At the,
just yeah.
at the end of the year, I can see that. Well, because we already got started 5. I mean, I could even
Right.
see us move Cueto to the pen, like I said earlier, and then just
Yeah.
put Yuri in that 5 spot. You got a stud 5.
Mhm.
I'm not stud 5.
Yeah.
You got a solid 5 right there.
Nah, I mean, in the playoffs, you got to
This-
start.
yeah.
I mean, Braxton's been
'Cause
solid. Cabrera's been solid.
Yeah.
Lazardo's been solid. Sandy's been kind of streaky, but I mean, Sandy streaky is a not so bad pitcher. Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's not horrible. And that's solid 5 arms. If you score 5 runs and our pitcher has a good day, and we add some relievers, we could be in contention for a wild card. I don't think
Oh
we
yeah,
catch
rate the
Braves.
pitching you have, 100%.
Dude, what if? Hear me out.
I mean, you could definitely catch a wild card.
This just popped on my brain,
Yeah.
and I don't think it would happen.
But just imagine that because the Cardinals love pitching, have always loved pitching. What if the Miami Marlins go get Goldschmidt? Oh
Goldie
my
and-
gosh!
Goldie and Wilson Contreras.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Just give Sandy back to St. Louis. Hear me out, because we talked about this.
Wait.
Because you've got it in the playoffs, and you really only need. You'd love to have 5,
Like
but you
3.
really need 3 arms.
3 pitchers.
Yeah,
And so,
and then like 2 quality
they can
bullpen guys.
They can get you 5-6 innings maybe.
Yeah.
Dude,
Because
that
Stallings
just popped
ain't
in my
it.
head. Oh my gosh!
Because Nick Fortes
Make me the
isn't a bad.
Listen, make me the GM for the Marlins. I'd have y'all World Series in 3 years. Khalil Watson, day 1 shortstop. North Carolina boy, dog. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't hate that trade. I don't hate it.
You'd probably have to give up.
'Cause then,
You'd have to give up either. I don't think Sixto is going to cut anymore.
No,
You'd probably have to
Sixto's
give up either
cut.
Sandy or a Yuri Perez.
I can see us giving up Sandy
One of them.
back to St. Louis. I mean, if anything, we will probably think that us giving up Sandy and Yuri's going to take his spot.
Right.
So we'll probably have Yuri
Yeah.
as our ace, or
Right.
behind Luzardo, doesn't matter. But we give Sandy a couple prospects, like you said. We could get Goldie and Contreras. I mean, he's lost confidence. Maybe on a new team he could blossom. Because we got what?
Nah,
Stallings?
he hasn't lost confidence.
No,
that
never.
that man is.
I mean, he could get hot. I
he's
mean, don't get
still-
me wrong.
Still there.
Dude,
Oh, it's still
Get
there.
hot. The man's having a good year.
250.
I think it's just a bad fit in St. Louis.
yeah.
Yeah, James.
Like, honestly, just
250
put him
was
on any
16
other team and he's solid.
That's what I mean. Put him on a new team that could change.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
250 with 16 bombs is a great year for a catcher. Like a great year.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Great year for a lot of guys. I mean, 250 is. I think the league average now is like 232. That's the MLB league average.
I think I'm just
Oh my
used to seeing
gosh.
Luis Arraez's average, and I'm just like, yeah, 2's trash.
I'm actually with you. My whole life, I've always said, if you're not batting 300, you're not that good.
You're trash.
Like, I hate that about myself. Because I grew up with Chipper Jones. Like, if that dude didn't bat 300,
Mhm.
yeah, get off my team right now,
There's a
you
problem.
bum.
I think batting 270
Yeah.
to 300,
265.
you're having a great year. You're having
I
a great
agree.
year. That's
Yeah.
me.
It's a solid.
And then if you're like below that to 240 to depending on the nukes, the RBIs, all that kind of stuff, you're having a good year. Anything below like 230 is like that line that you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you got to be doing
Triple
something
A?
else, you know?
And it always depends on position, but yeah. Because
Yeah.
I've always said,
Yeah.
like,
Position.
if you're a catcher, like, Casey disagreed with me, but I loved Mike Zunino. Batted like 220, but would hit you 25 bombs. That's all I need. That's why I love Sean Murphy. Dude does not care.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look at right field.
He's swinging.
He's looking for 450 left down the pole.
He is swinging.
Swing.
Hey, I could also see us giving up Jazz.
Listen, no, y'all need to move Jazz back to the infield. Get that man out of the
I'll throw
outfield.
that in there.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
If we give up Sandy and Jazz with a prospect, I see we can get Goldschmidt and Contreras. Just think about
Yeah.
that.
I could see that.
I think you could get more than that.
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
get
I'm just saying,
Monty,
like,
too.
just as like, I mean,
You're
prospects
feeling frisky.
could
Dude,
be.
and
but
get Lars Newbar. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Make it like a 3-team trade.
make it a
Where you
Fucking
trade like
crazy.
2 guys to the
I'm
Cardinals.
just giving the Marlins freaking World Series right now.
Just send this to the GM.
Yeah. Listen, there's not many teams, but there's about 5 to 6 teams that I genuinely believe. Oakland Athletics, no chance. I don't even want to be a part of that organization. But the Miami Marlins, I would tell ownership, like Derek Jeter, the fact that he quit,
Dude, I don't know.
not quit, but like is
He
because
quit.
of
He
no
quit.
because of ownership. And he said, "Listen, if y'all don't care about winning, I'm out."
That's true.
So I'll give them that. But I would tell them to shove it. And then
The
they
Marlins
fire.
have so
Then
much
they'd fire me the
potential.
next day.
It makes me so mad. I mean, we're not that bad this year. I mean, we're tied for second, but gosh, dude, we have the potential, dude. I mean, not like the Braves, but
Nobody does.
just makes me mad.
Not everybody can be the Braves.
And
It's
we
hard to
have
be the
Braves.
best.
Yeah, or the Orioles. You know, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
forget it.
hey,
To the side.
I will have to say, you know, like I know I was talking a lot of crap at the beginning of the series and stuff like that about Gunnar Henderson getting lucky and stuff like that, you know. And I think I was just pissed off,
Sounds
obviously,
alright.
as a race fan,
Little man syndrome.
seeing like seeing how everything was playing
out.
going, playing. Thank you, playing out and stuff, and but that man is a dog. He made some plays. I mean, he made a play on Randy, and not even that one. He made a play on Randy.
Oh, the one across the middle.
This is when I turned off the TV and stuff because I was already pissed off at Randy. But that man made a play where he like did a 360 no scope and stuff and threw a ball that I don't know what the cameraman was on, but he made that ball look like it was thrown at 120.
Wander could never.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the hair.
And then just the hair. He's got the looks. He's got the swing.
Yeah, real
He's
quick.
got that pretty
Can we go back to last year's draft? We get a text message in the group message. Oh my gosh, the Orioles are so stupid. Why would they draft Jackson Holiday? He's not going to be anything.
Hey, he's not anything.
He's gone up 3 divisions since he's got up.
Yeah,
He's not anything
19
yet.
hitting in AAA.
Yeah, his dad had freaking 24-inch
Double A.
biceps.
He's in Double A.
Double A, forgive me.
24-inch biceps and 22-inch forearms. You telling me that guy's kid's not going to be an animal?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see when you think he gets called up next year?
I think
maybe to take Mateo's spot.
Dude, hear me out.
Depends where they want
Not if
Gunner.
Gunner's playing.
Wait.
True.
Oh wait,
I mean,
is he a
he's at
shortstop?
third.
They
Yeah.
can put
No,
Gunner
he's
at third,
and this, like I said,
Gunner,
I'm nobody. Jackson, unless he like hits a growth spurt and like fills in, that dude's a second baseman.
Who's the Orioles second?
That's where I got him on
Razor?
MLB The Show.
Yeah,
Oh, so you have him on the show?
that's all that matters.
Yes, I do have him on the show.
Little hypocritical over here.
I think some managers, I think some GMs could really benefit from doing my dynasty.
Diamond Dynasty.
Can this guy play catcher?
We can figure it out. Put Kyle Schwarber back at catcher.
Dude, his highlights are nasty. Freaking fire has a ball. That dude's in a squat. Doesn't even have to bend. Doesn't even have to move. He just blocks everything. He sure as heck can't play left field.
That's like Josh. That's like Josh Donaldson behind the plate too, though.
Yeah, at Auburn.
True.
Mm-hmm. He was a dog.
Well, he got called
Yeah,
up with
with
the
the
A's,
A's,
and he
As
first
a catcher.
behind the plate. Mm-hmm. Just like Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen was a catcher
Dude,
too.
that went the World Baseball Classic.
In the WBC.
Oh my gosh, those throws! I wouldn't pitch if Kenley Jansen
He
was
does
like
not
catcher.
look like a catcher back there, though.
No.
If there's somebody on first base, I'm not pitching with Kenley Jansen. That dude's throwing BBs through my chest.
So, what about any of the other players that you think are on the move? Like we've got Dylan Cease, we've got potentially David Bednar. You said earlier,
for sure.
Yeah, they said
Giolito,
I think
Cease
Cease-
Hader.
they said
Cease-
Cease isn't available.
Giolito for sure.
Yeah,
Cease isn't?
Cease-
That's what
Cease or Rivera,
ownership said,
Really?
or GM or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, what
they say
about-
him and Luis Robert are staying?
They're staying.
My-
Everyone
What
else for
about-
sale?
My favorite trade, and this wasn't
Yeah.
on Riverside. Shout out Riverside. Was the Giolito and Tim Anderson to the Dodgers. That's been my favorite one.
Yeah.
Other than the ones I've called because I'm a genius, but
Yeah.
You think
Yeah,
TA
I mean, we
goes
can
to
go over.
LA?
I think that'd be a good package.
Take over Miggy Rowe.
I think it would
Miggy
be.
Rowe hasn't done anything.
Yeah. No, he's a good player. I
Yeah.
still love Miguel Rojas. He's kind of like a Martin Prado back in the
I
day.
mean, Anderson's not having a great year either, but
No. But
No,
different
so
team,
to
different
me-
atmosphere.
Had a great series against the Braves.
If I were
Sorry, Casey.
if I was in the MLB and I got a call around this time and my agent said, Casey, you have been traded. Well,
Yeah,
cool.
anywhere.
And then he said to
me out of the South Side.
Chicago. I think I'd retire. I'd be like, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. I'm putting in my 2 weeks. That is. I'd say, where do I sign for my release papers?
Mexico.
Because oh my god, because just think about it. Like I wouldn't ever want to play for the Dodgers. I wouldn't ever want to play out in the West Coast anyways because of like the whole tax stuff and everything like that that's going on out there. But if I was in LA for the Dodgers, like that's a fan base like no other, like it's a great history place, and then they say you're going to the south side of Chicago, like not even north side, but south side. Oh my gosh, man! I don't know what
I'd have to go to the depressed IL
for the rest of my contract. I'd have to pull that Eduardo Rodriguez. Team wouldn't hear from me. Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the Chicago White Sox fans out there. The five of y'all that there is that are sane, I should say.
Hey, there's 5 more than the Rays.
Hey.
The drop.
Good one, Thomas.
At least we got Stingrays.
Yeah, the Devil Rays jerseys are nasty. That's another good point. Like, what jerseys do the White Sox have? Like, at least if I play for Tampa, can I see a baseball? No. But at least I look cool doing it,
Hey, they got the Southside jersey. You can't even see them at night.
City Connects.
Whoa. See what, Casey?
What? You can't see the jersey. Relax.
I'm sorry.
All right, backtrack. I got one. What do you guys think about Shane Bieber with him going that 2-week shutdown? You think he's still traded?
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
Because after that, I don't think he's going anywhere.
I've seen a couple where it's like no chance he gets traded. He just threw a mound, or just threw off a mound. Now he's think he may get traded. I just don't think a team, or if a team does make a move on him, it's not going to be. It's going to be for a bag of chips.
What's his contract?
Yeah, your return's not going to be good because you're like he could be out for the rest of the year, and then you only get 1 year out of him next year. So it's like it's not worth the package that would be if he was fully healthy.
I don't know, y'all
But that's a interesting take though, because I could see them trading him to a non-contender this year, if that makes sense. So they could trade him to a non-contender for some a package or whatever and stuff. So a team that's not really, maybe even like the Cardinals. Say he gets traded to the Cardinals. They're looking for an arm. They can trade him to a team that is not competitive, take some prospects, or take a guy like, I don't know, maybe I don't know, the guy in the outfield. But I don't know.
I just don't see him
just for a team that should be good but hasn't produced this year, like a Yankees, like a Padres, Mets, maybe. I don't know.
I'm sweating.
I think those teams can still be buyers, but not buyers for this season. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All those teams could
I think y'all are discrediting the amount of a season of a good pitcher. Like, because I was wondering, I couldn't remember if it was a rental or a season. Because that's a huge difference.
Bieber?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like any contender this year wants someone for this year. That's why I'm saying I don't think he goes to a big team just because like if you don't know if you're going to have him the rest of the year, why would you give up a bunch of prospects or even MLB talent for him when you don't even know if he's going to help you make a playoff run?
Why'd he get shut down?
Elbow inflation.
Elbow strain.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't think he needs surgery, so that's good. But I don't think he's not going to throw off a mount for 2 weeks. So
yeah,
and that's right around the deadline, so it's horrible timing for Bieber and the Guardians.
Yeah, I just read a bunch of articles that said there's no chance of him being dealt. That's what Guardian said.
Because he was like the hottest take coming out. He was being moved no matter what.
I think
I sold the farm for him in fantasy. I mean, not
he could be traded. He could be traded in the offseason too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
100%.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I think teams would wait till the offseason.
Yeah.
See what you can do with the second half. Because, I mean, Bieber's not too bad. He's got good stuff.
No. His velocity came up like a tick.
I mean, I could see him going to like a Yankees or Astros or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Astros are interesting. Yeah. I think we've been spoiled by the Astros since 2016, 2017, whatever you want to say and stuff. Just because like they've had just that core of guys, and now they're kind of like the Dodgers of that kind of generation has kind of left them and stuff, and now we're kind of seeing them where they do actually need help, at the deadline, rather than they need a piece here, maybe a piece there, the bullpen, and that's it. I think they could add a starter. I saw Eduardo Rodriguez linked to them as a fantasy manager of Erod. I'd love to see that.
That could be.
But I don't know. I mean, there's some holes there. I don't know if Jose Abreu is a long-time fix there. What is he on? Like a 2 to 3 year contract? 3 year?
Yeah, because I watched that Oakland. I watched that Oakland Astros game today. Like Corey Jolks was playing left field. The catcher wasn't like it was he actually hit a bomb today, but and then Chas McCormick in center field, Kyle Tucker right.
He's been a dog.
I'm not a big Chas McCormick fan.
I like him.
They're high.
I like anybody that because he scored 1,000 points in high school basketball. So I like anybody who played multiple sports.
Just a natural athlete.
Mauricio Dubon, he's had a good year as well.
Leadoff spot.
But he's a leadoff now. Jose Pena's bad night.
Yeah, that's crazy. Go from an MVP in the World Series to which I mean, some teams
like Michael Harris could be batting. In our lineup, he'd be batting like highest 6th, but but he
for most teams he'd be batting top 3. I think.
Say with Acuna and Albies there, no chance.
Yeah.
I would love, as a Rays fan, I would love to see Belly go to the Rays.
That'd be a good fit.
I would love to see him
anywhere. Belly.
So I think, and it pains me to think about this. We could possibly trade Josh Lowe for him. I would like that because I like Josh Lowe. I really like Josh Lowe.
Rather than Bellinger,
but
defense.
I'd rather get rid of Manny Margot than Josh. I would.
Yeah, you've watched baseball before.
Well, but also I could see maybe like a Harold Ramirez getting dealt too.
Especially with Fredes.
Because Harold Ramirez, he is DH and DH only, really. Honestly, I mean,
maybe
he can
right
play a little
field.
first base here. He can play some corner outfield and stuff, but he's not your big defender. That I think Manny Margot, from a defensive side, obviously, plays more.
Yeah.
Harold Ramirez, as a DH, he's a great bat to ball skill guy, but as a DH, I want like the David Ortiz Thunder bat. I want a JD Martinez. If I'm going for a straight DH, I want a guy that can give me some runs quick, right?
Some
RBIs. As much as because I like Harold Ramirez, I like him a lot. I think he's a great player and stuff.
I'm pissed we traded him.
So it would hurt me to see him go. If I could, in my ideal world, Brandon Lau, Taylor Walls could fall off the planet Earth, and I'd be totally fine. I can't stand those guys. They are black holes. They are absolute black holes, especially Brandon Lau in the field, at the plate.
In the dugout.
If he's not hot, he is the coldest man on planet Earth. I've seen him for the past 3 years in the playoffs with his butthole about this big.
Tighter.
Yeah, probably tighter. I mean, it's just
you probably couldn't pull a pin out of his butt with a tractor.
Yeah, honestly, but
you're from Miami, James. You don't get
I said it.
terms.
I said it.
Yeah.
Hey,
you don't even know what a tractor looks like. What's a John Deere?
I'm looking at one right here, bottom right.
The baby.
But hey, I did pull up the trades. I did pull up the trades that we pulled off in fantasy. Can I talk about those?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? That'd be a good segue.
So we had 2 trades go through this week. Both of them were through Thomas. I don't know if that was his little fleece gate. He's done that twice this year already. But he had hit.
That's why he wouldn't respond to me for a whole week.
Hey, James, Casey, I did tell James. He sent me the offer Wednesday or Thursday, and I said, "Can we wait till Friday so I can still get Cole's start on Saturday?"
I said,
and he said, "Yeah, I'll do that."
All right.
Good game this week, Casey.
I can erase you off from the league. Just so you know,
No chance.
I have
You
have
can,
that button.
this league would be nothing without us.
That's a fact.
Anyways,
All right, back to it.
James.
All right, so
James, you want to read them off?
All right, so Casey receives Dolis Garcia back from Thomas, but he gives up Ellie De La Cruz and Blake Snell, which I don't think that's even trade. Kind of scared Casey a little bit with the Dolis Garcia getting hit in the hand. I think Ellie De La Cruz was like 1 for 50 in his last 50 at bats, and then trade right over to Thomas and then hit a nuke. Blake Snell's been hot, had a 1 bad start, but could go either way. If
And it wasn't even terrible, but it was.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, seven walks, but with our league, you know, he still pulled out, I think, 20
something
points.
like that.
Yeah, he's still getting K's.
And still got the loss too, and he got the loss. So I mean,
Yeah.
in a 1-0 game, in a 1-0 game too. So
bullcrap trades.
Yep.
The ones,
No, not yet.
The ones that says see you.
All right, and then the other one, I think this one was more of a blockbuster, but I gave up Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher, Jordan Montgomery, Luis Robert, and Sandy, which is a lot. I do know that. 4
That
people,
is a lot.
and I got two, and I got 2 in return. I got Garrett Cole and I got Camilo Duvall. I wanted 1 more reliever, and then I was going for somewhat of an ace, so I took his ace, but I also gave up Ohtani. Sandy's been kind of struggling, but knowing him, he won Cy Young last year. He could turn it around. Shohei Ohtani's, I mean, he's a unicorn. He could get you 9 to 10 Ks a game if you wanted to. Montgomery could get traded, or probably will get traded to a contender. I think he kind of struggled today. I think he gave up 5 earned runs against the Cubs. Got the loss, but
Yeah, but he still went 6 innings.
yeah, I mean, with him going to contender, that could be huge. And then Robert, I see that as because I think I was going to give up Riley, and the week he had, I was like, oh, I don't want Thomas having Matt Olson and Austin Riley. Chop House will probably fall over. But I gave him Luis Robert instead. I just see with him, I mean, he's hot. He's probably having the best year of his career. If the White Sox sell, I see him being the team or the guy he builds around. So I see him, I don't know, losing some confidence, maybe getting hurt. I mean, like today, he went 0 for 5 with 4 Ks. So he could turn around, hit a nuke here and there, but I felt like giving him up rather than Austin Riley. Robert, Robert.
Yeah, he freaking got hurt swinging a batting practice in the Homer Derby.
And that too. So, I mean, injuries is also a factor, but I like the upside with Riley and the Braves. There's more RBIs. But those are the 2 trades. Kind of even, I would say. There's high upside on either side, but getting closer to the deadline, I feel like there's going to be more trades going out.
Yeah.
Going to happen.
Yeah, for those listening, our deadline in our league is 2 days. Is it 2 days after the actual
2 days
deadline?
after. Ooh,
3 days. So we got 3 days to see if any any pitchers go to contenders, things like that, for us to make trades within our league. I was trying to get ahead of the game, picked up Sandy, Montgomery, and Ohtani and Snell for Garrett Cole, essentially as one pitcher. I think that was a good return. Really, I was just like trying to find depth for my team. Because I had Garrett Cole, Joe Ryan, and sometimes Mitch Keller up at the top, and then there was just like 50 feet of crap between my next pitcher. And so mainly what I was going for was to fill in that gap, and then I still was able to keep Felix Bautista and still have Carlos Estevez.
That's what I want to know. Freddie just sent me a trade. Or not Freddie. Kale just sent me a trade.
Kale also has I do also have a trade from Kale in the inbox.
Hey, let me pull it up. Hang on.
Let's open it.
Yeah, let's see this.
Let's talk about
see what
Let's see what Kale's got.
Fans vote if I'm a bad trader or not.
Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, so he's given up Rafael Devers, solid. Musgrove, solid. And Mitch Kelly. Doesn't he still have like a blood clot or something? Isn't that it? Oh, Merrill Kelly.
Merrill Kelly.
What'd I say? Mary?
Mitch Kelly.
Oh, you did Kelly, whatever. All right, Merrill Kelly. So it's his calf second. Oh, so he's throwing rehab. Okay. He wants. Okay, so this is a normal trade, Kale. Where has this been?
I don't care what y'all say. That's dang near every trade I send, other than to Thomas.
No chance.
And to the beginning of the year with you.
Blasphemous.
Because at the beginning of the year, I wanted Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna, Framber Valdez, another dog for my seventh best pitcher.
All right, go back to it. All right, so Devers,
Thomas,
Musgrove, and
Thomas,
Merrill
bring your
Kelly.
my trade to you as well.
Sure.
And I'm giving up Austin Riley, Carlos Rodon, and Luis Castillo. So that's not horrible.
Not hard.
Fair.
That's not bad.
I see Devers
That's
and
not
Riley.
bad.
No, that's not bad. Compared to Kale, I'm telling you, to the ones you sent me before, I look at it and just
I'm
die.
gonna read it. Okay. I asked for Austin Riley. I asked for Austin Riley. Now I got to go to Thomas's team because you gave away everybody. I wanted Austin Riley. I wanted.
It was Ohtani, Montgomery, and
Castillo.
Devin Williams.
Castillo.
It was Devin Williams and Castillo. You're going back.
No, it was Castillo.
Either one of them.
For
Because you're giving me
for
Seawald for Devin
Rafael
Williams. That's
Devers,
fair.
Joe Musgrove, maybe the best pitcher in the
And
league,
Strider.
Spencer Strider, and then I threw in Paul Sewald because I
He's been
didn't.
hitting around.
Oh, easy.
I mainly wanted Devers, Musgrove, and Strider. Those were the three.
Yeah, don't care.
That's it. But I got
Too late
Cole
now.
and Duvall.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the
And I
reason he
kept-
didn't make it was because I threw in Bello.
And you're already trying to deal with Duvall.
What? I am. Hey, Duvall's on the block. Just letting y'all know.
Yeah, I don't care.
Dude, I'm a trading fiend, bro.
Thomas, let's bring up the trade I sent you.
Sure, go ahead.
I gotta find it.
Okay, this ain't bad. Let me look at this.
No, because you
I
said
do
that.
think Rodon.
Because you said that, yeah, cancel.
We need to cancel it
Okay.
because I do see Rodon turning it around.
Thomas has to give up Luis Araz. I don't even know his first name. Abbott.
A bot.
Andrew Abbott. And
Andrew.
Shohei Ohtani. I'm giving him Sean Murphy,
Okay.
Rafael Devers, because he doesn't have a catcher on the roster. Then
I don't think
Rafael
anyone has
Devers,
a kicker.
Bryce Elder, and Joe Musgrove. I'm giving up 4 players. He's giving up 3.
And that's not horrible either.
It's a decent deal.
Shocker.
I
Kel makes
might not
good
take
trades,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
how
the
many trades
first
you
good
get all
offer
year?
you've sent me in months.
Blasphemous.
I wish I should have. I should have screenshotted the ones you sent.
You should have.
They were
Johnny
bad.
Campbell?
I will die on this hill. Happily.
I'm sorry, Kale. I'm sorry. Anyways, well, now that we're on fantasy,
Take the trade, Thomas.
I want to go over a couple waiver wire pickups, and then we can probably wrap it up here because we are almost at the hour 30 mark.
Don't.
But
Ooh,
top
Casey.
guy.
Ooh, Casey sending me a trade. All right, continue.
Casey's in a trade. Trade's going crazy right now.
It's the deadline to get you
Top
going.
guy, Alex Kirilloff right now is super hot. 10 for his last 28. He's got 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, 1 triple, 2 doubles. And he's only 30% rostered across Yahoo leagues. So likely if you're listening to this, he's available in your league. So you should go pick him up if you need some help. Wilmer Flores is 8 for 17 with also 4 bombs and 7 RBIs. He's been on a tear recently. He's only 29% rostered. And he's got 3 other positions. He's got first base, second base, and third base. So if you need middle infield, corner infield, or specific position help, go pick him up. Another guy is Chas McCormick. We were just talking about from Houston. 8 for his last 20, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 5 singles. He's been solid. He's only 61% rostered. And then Tristan
56%.
Cassis. And then last one, Tristan Cassis from Boston. 7 for his last 14 with 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, and a triple. So these are a lot of guys that are just readily available in most leagues, unless you're in a super deep league. So these would be my guys to pick up. You guys got anything else to add on that?
Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, I got.
He's
Oh yeah.
he's gonna get traded probably.
For Detroit.
And I just love him because he went to Cal State Fullerton. He was a dog at center field. Should have played offense, but he's a starting pitcher now.
Yep.
And then the one I
got one guy. I got one guy. His Edward Julian, second baseman for the Twins. 11 for his last 22. Only 2 nukes, and so a lot of them are singles and stuff. But 8 runs during that span, and walked 5 times for his last 22 at bats. So not too bad at all. Obviously, doesn't have the flexibility of other positions, but middle infield is kind of, I find it to be a little bit of a weaker position for fantasy. So obviously, trying to look for like the hot guys at the right time and stuff. Can go for the utility spot as well, obviously. But yeah, sure. That's my pick.
Yeah, the one I got. I mean, he probably was picked up when he was brought up. I mean, I know I did. He kind of struggled. He's only 44% roster, which is kind of crazy. I just looked at it. Taz Bradley. The fact that he is only 44% roster, I know I dropped him. He's been struggling. But the last 2 outings, he was in Texas, got 22 points. Then he played against Baltimore, got 21 points again. Dude's been hot last 2 times. I mean, he's lost both. Well, he lost one and got no decision on another one. Ks are up. Earned runs, I think they're under 3. Yeah, 3 and 2 last 2 games, but against good offenses. His curveball's working. I see him picking it back up. He'll probably start playing not as hot teams, but he might be a solid one to pick up, especially at 44%.
Yeah.
And before we jump off, can we talk about Cody Bellinger for the past month? He has been hitting 436 in the past month.
Good grief.
Just so y'all know.
Yeah, he had like 7 home runs this past week against me. Still lost.
He did, yeah. And including a grand slam. Yeah, still lost. It's okay. Only one guy decided to show up this year.
Hey, it's okay. I got Austin Riley.
No worries. Not according to what's in your inbox right now.
Nine more.
Tell me a good time now. Hang on.
9 more.
But yeah, so love to see the resurgence. Honestly, so I had him earlier in the year, picked him up, had him on my IL, picked up Christian Walker for a day, dropped him to put Belly back in. Yeah, Belly struggled for about a week. I dropped Belly again, and then literally right after the All-Star game and stuff, I picked Belly up right before this past weekend. I mean, he's really shown out this week, but still not enough to beat the bloopers, I guess. But
the ratio.
Like that's why I'm playing.
Been ratio.
Oh, I got 2 real quick. Can we talk about Freddie Freeman? He had 93 points this week, no big deal. Kyle Tucker, 99 points, no big deal. Oh, and Shohei Ohtani had an off week, kind of trash, 69 points. Freddie's revenge is coming in hot.
No chance, brother. No chance.
Still
what is that?
under 500.
What is that like?
Anyways.
Isn't that like 4 wins in a row or something?
Heck, I know.
Hey, so
7 and 8.
Let's go through the rankings.
Anyways.
Let's go through the rankings. We got.
Yeah, I'm 7 and 8 now.
We got Ethan down at the pits.
Who?
And then coming up, we got
Ethan is the ghost. We are still taking applications.
Please, God.
If you have a pulse, if you have a pulse and you have a cell phone, DM us. And then I think with the win that Kale had, he jumps to fourth. So Chance drops down to 5th. Then we got bloopers ratios.
I'll be in second after beating Casey.
He'll jump to second with the beat of the number 1 seed, Casey. And then King Hasbullah jumps 2
Casey
to
drops
1.
all the way to 3rd.
Not the 3rd from the 1 spot.
After being 7-0 to start the season.
And then you made a trade. Now you're you're 9 and 6.
Casey's been the 1 seed.
Casey's
been
the whole year.
Number 1 all year until this week.
Yeah, but can we talk about the points,
you may
though?
have to change the profile picture.
Because
Freddie's
revenge,
don't
1,300. No big deal.
I still have more points than you, Kale.
Barely.
Don't matter.
I do too.
Barely.
Yeah, Kale, you have 11,100. I have
Yeah.
11,
Yeah, but wait till the end of this week.
And I just scored like 1,300 points this week.
You scored 1,258, you jackass.
Sorry.
Close enough. I mean, how many did you score?
1,200,
1189.
1191.
No, 1189. No, that's what you're projecting.
Now I'm about to get a win.
Still a win, though. Still win. I'll counter that trade, though.
Yeah, I won't.
Sorry, Thomas, take it away.
Anyways, well, the ratios are moving up in the league. Casey's dropping down. James takes over number 1.
Again.
That's about it. That's
There
about all
is
we
no
got for you
God.
this week. Thanks for listening. That is false. Anyways, make sure you check us out on Instagram at the Sunday League Pod, on Twitter at Sun League Pod. Follow us here on YouTube. Give us a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a subscription, like, comment, all that jazz. Make sure you find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and a few more that we are still working the kinks out on. But with that being said, that's about all we got. Thanks for listening. Appreciate
Love
you.
ya.
We'll see you next time.